everyone, I'm Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and it's Saturday, so this is our weekend wrap-up. This is the first time I'm doing this on a Saturday, where I basically go over what happened through the week, what's going to happen next week, and finish off some of the items that I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to try and bring you up here on, if I can, let's see. If I can bring you up so I can get your comments. Nope, can't see it, hold on. Try one more time. Anyway, anyone that's watching, I'm Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures. I'm here in Canada on the west coast, BC, and in a city. I keep wanting to say town, I don't know why, but Chilliwack. And if you are local to me, you could drop off any thrift items, that would be amazing. And also if you're local to me, I do sell my products, my creations and things that I have. julieseverythingtreasures.com. You go to the for sale section, it shows everything that's for sale, and I do curbside pickup. So that's going on, and yeah, I'm not sure if I can get this going. We'll see. I can never seem to get it, but that's okay. So we are going to carry on, and I'm going to do basically going over all the things that we did this week. So we started off on Monday, and that's our first day of doing the thrift, well, it's not thrift store haul, it was just thrift haul, because the thrift stores are not open, but I do have boxes of thrift stuff that were donated to me. So on Monday we opened up a box of donated thrift store items and went through the box of what I would do with the items, what I would work with, and we painted some of it too, if you remember. If you didn't see it after this live, go back and have a look and see what happened on Monday. And I'm going to turn you around and show you some of the items we actually did on Monday and what we've been doing through the week. So we are going to start off with, let's get turned around. There's my place of things that are for sale. That piece of furniture actually is sold and being ready to be picked up, I think today or maybe tomorrow. They haven't decided yet. But anyway, I'm going to move you over to here, because in that box on Monday there was some glassware, some vases, and I cleaned them up and I have displayed them here, and they are for sale. So there's the glassware out of the thrift store box. I'm going to just bring you in again slowly, closely. Those are the vases and a little dish that has the little feet on it. So those are for sale and displayed nicely. Also, if I come down here, we had this little pot here, and I didn't want to paint this one. I liked the colours of it. It might not be very summery colours, but I didn't want to paint it, so I left it as is, and it goes really nice with these candle stands. So I cleaned it up, and now it's on display and for sale. So I'm going to slowly, without trying to make you too dizzy, we're going to bring you over here, because what we did paint on Monday was actually these items. They were bright blue with bright green on them, little pots, and I made them kind of look like little stone pots. So there was these three that I did, with one big one and two little ones, and then under here, right in the back here, we have the other three little ones. So that was done, and we did that Monday. Those are the ones we painted. Then through the week, I'm going to bring you down here slowly if I can. Through the week we have done other items. On Tuesday we do the trash to treasures, and this time we use the soup can. This was basically a can of soup that was emptied. It was going to be thrown in the recycling, and I saved it and made it into a hanging little, well, you can put plants in it, flowers in it, you could even put it outside. It would maybe rust a little, but I think it would look awesome with a little bit of rust on it. And that was a Dollar Tree fence in a little part that was finished. It was over from a different project, so there were both items that I would have maybe thrown away and made that. So there you go. So I'm going to bring you in here. This is one of my craft rooms. This is the one where I usually do the bigger items. I'm going to settle you down here, and then we'll go through all the other things that we have. I'm going to turn you around if I can. Where am I? Let's turn you around. There we go. Get you situated. And I will show you some of the other items. So if you remember, in that box on Monday, I had one old pie dish. And that pie dish is the center part of what I've started. I haven't finished this, but this is going to be one of my 3-tier trays. And the top is actually a basket from the Dollar Tree. And this middle part here is the pie dish. And I'm going to be doing some legs on it when I find some legs, finish it off. And this is going to be my summer 3-tier tray, and it's going to be basically look like a lemonade stand. So that's what I'm working on with that. So we did use that actual pie dish from the box. So I'm going to move that out of the way. That's not quite finished yet, but it will be. So also we had in that box these two. Can you see these? They were frames that I painted up and distressed. And if you also remember, in the box there was the cards, like blank cards, and I put the cards inside instead of the pictures that were in here. And I wanted to do the sunflower ones because summer is coming, and I think this will be a nice colour to put on my display to add a little yellow for summer into my display, and will go nicely with the lemonade stand 3-tier tray. So that got finished. I'll move those over here. And also in that box I painted this up. I don't know if you can see this, but it was just wood, and I painted it white chalk paint, distressed it, and that's going to be going for sale soon too. It's all finished. So that's another item from the box that was finished. And then last but not least, we had one of these. It was a bright metal. It's metal but bright blue, and I painted it up, distressed it a little, and I think it looks better and looks good for your kitchen. Bon appetit. And that was finished too, so that's going for sale next week too. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we had these in the box, and I said I knew what I was going to do with these. I was just waiting on a couple of things. So they have arrived, and we will be working on these together on Wednesday next week in the craft and chat time, and you'll be able to see what I'm thinking of doing with these. So these are the last in the box of the items, and that's what we're going to be doing on Wednesday. So come back on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to see what I do with these. Alright, I'm going to bring you in closer to here so you can see what's going on without dropping you. These are the 2 suitcases that we've been working on, and we're going to continue to work on these. And what I'm going to be doing is putting a transfer on. So this is the transfer we've got. I've got 1/4 of these 4. This is the Classic Bouquets IOD transfer. I've got 1/4 left, and that's all my transfers used up. And I don't have any more left right now, but this is what I'll be using. So I'm going to be literally using one small transfer to do both of these. So I'm going to be cutting this up, this whole thing up, to make sure it goes on basically both of these. So I'm going to start with that, and the words down here I know I'm going to put on this one. So I'm going to cut that out and start that first. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. Say hello and where you're from, and if you're new, let me know who you are so I can welcome you. And I will keep popping onto the comments, see what's going on, see what's being said. And if I miss any questions in the comments or anything, I will go back and have a look later, all right? I don't always see them. Busy, and just basically I find the internet is not the greatest right now. So what I'm doing is just basically cutting the transfer into portions so that I can use it efficiently with this whole thing. So it will, one little transfer I can actually stretch out for doing 2 projects. That's what I'm doing. So you can cut them and put them on as you wish. So just going to put the part down that I don't need quite yet here. So this is the part I've cut out, and we're going to be putting it on this piece. I'm going to see if I can do it while you're watching up here. So I'm just going to literally lay it out here. Pressing it on. And you get one of these little, it's hard to see because I've got white on white on white here. Hi Kathy, how you doing? So this is the little scraper that you push along to make the transfer release. So I'm going to try and do that. Now the best way I can describe a transfer is if you remember when you were a little kid, or maybe even your kids now, they have those pretend tattoos, and they're a piece of paper that you put on top of the skin, picture side down, and use a damp cloth and you rub it, and then when you take the paper off, the actual transfer of the picture ends up on your body. So this is a similar concept, but instead of using a wet rag, we're using this to release. It just pushes down and releases the picture onto what you're pushing it onto, and instead of having paper, we've got a plastic backing, and that releases and comes off. So I'm just going to rub this and get it in place. It's a little noisy, sorry. Hear any of the crackling on it, that's it releasing, so hopefully it's going to release good. The parts that have words are always the hardest. Any little detail is always the hardest. So I always go over a little bit at first to see if I can get it to release a little, and then I go back. And if you pull as the plastic as you go along, it'll release. If you miss any, just press it back down, go back over it. can quite easily line it back up and put it back on. Oh, still hasn't gone on. Hold on. Let's see if I can get that on there. There, that's better. And then just use a dry cloth and just push it down, just so it's burnished on there nicely. Oh, it came up again. I guess that's just really a dud part. I don't like that, that's okay. There we go. And then we're going to find some more to put on here. So what I'm going to do is figure out what part of this is going to go up here and what part's going to go down. So I'm going to put some of this definitely on here. So let me cut that out. So I have this here, and I think, I don't know, do I want it here? I'm going to see where I want to put things. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it here. So I just put it literally there. And just use the scrape and just release. Hi Sheila, how are you doing? Oh, thank you. Yes, it's the IOD transfers. This is the classic bouquets. There's actually 4 pictures in one package, and that's why I like these, because then you can use them for different items. Because I find actually the transfers are quite expensive for here in Canada. For one package of transfers, 1 tube of transfers, it's like $40 Canadian approximately, and then you've got shipping on top of that. So depending on what you're actually putting the transfer on, you've got to allow to be able, if you're selling, to get your money back. So I find this classic bouquets one, which has 4 different basically pictures, will do 4 different pieces of furniture or items for me, and in this case actually 2 pieces out of just quarter of it, one of the 4. So I actually get my money back better that way. See if I can peel this up. Sometimes it's hard to grab it to get it started. Yeah, almost. I just trimmed my nails yesterday and now I could do with them. And there you go with that part, and just lightly with a lint-free cloth, just push it all down. And you need to seal under it, so I've got sealer on this, and then you need to seal over it too, okay? And I'm going to get a little bit more of this, and then we'll go on to the other one. So So I've got this here, which I think, let's see where I want to put this. I think it needs to go up this way for it to be symmetrical and for it to look good. So let's see, kind of want it, no, down here I think. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. Put there, so. And then we're pretty much done on this one, other than the waxing. If you could like and maybe sprinkle the love, that would be really appreciated, so that I can keep doing these lives. I've been doing lives starting this week. I've been doing 6 a week, so Monday through Saturday, and I hope to continue that, all different topics. There we go for this one. And that's basically the pattern on this one. I'm going to try without getting my fingers everywhere and dropping you. Trying to show you close up. There you go. That's a close up. So I'm doing the lives every day, 6 days a week. I have Sundays off with the family and selling things, curbside pickup and all things going on. And what I'm saving up for actually is I'm saving up for a tripod, so I won't keep dropping you guys. So that's what I'm trying to do. So this is what we have left, and this is what we're going to put on top of this one. So I'm going to cut it out, place it on. You've seen how I do things, so I won't do it. I'll put it in place. I won't do it because you don't need to see me keep scraping away. I'm going to get onto the next part of doing the waxing to show you that, and then when it's all finished and completely waxed, thank you Sheila, that's really nice, then I will display it all and show you the finished product probably on Monday. So I'm going to cut this out and then put this one in place onto the top of the other one. You can see pretty much how you can just cut out the different flowers and put them where you want them. You know, you can make your own pictures up as you go along, and some of it you might not even want it straight away, and you can put it on a different project altogether. So this here, I'm going to put, I believe, let's see, not quite sure how I'm going to do it, right, maybe up there. And that, I know you guys can't see, I won't be a moment, I'm just trying to get it in place of how I want this to be. It's very awkward because I've got lines on it. Yeah, I'm actually going to cut it more. I'm going to even cut this, I'm going to cut. Can you believe that? I'm cutting it so much into different details so I can position it how I want it to be on the piece I want. And I'm just going to cut this off. So basically I've cut this particular flower I've got the flower and then I've got the leaves, and because I have a ridge on here, I'm going to they're going to be together, but I'm just going to be a little bit further apart. So I'm going to put that one here. In place, put this one in place up here, as though they are coming out of each other, and then I'm just going to put these basically around. So let's get these on and then I will show you. I won't be a minute. So now I've cut this amount off and I'm going to put this, just trying to figure it out. Like that. And then the last little bit, I'm going to do basically, where's my scraper? I need my scraper. Where did I put it, guys? Oh, I've knelt on it. Well, that's typical me, isn't it? I just need to scrape this so I can lift up this corner and then put this kind of slightly underneath, and it will look like it's supposed to be there. And then I have to cut again. Hold on, let me cut again. Even this flower is being cut in half so I can get it exactly where I want it. I don't need this little leaf here, I don't need this, so I'm going to cut that off. And then just have this coming up here. Alright, I'm going to try and see if I can show you what I've done. As I say, I will scrape them later. You don't want to watch that. Hey Mark, how you doing? So I'm just going to move this one out of the way a minute and try and push this forward, if I can. So that's what we have going on. And as you can see, if I can hold it, these lines, these lines here, this metal, was what was separating it all. So I needed to cut it up and place it in so that I didn't want it to go over those. So I'm going to basically scrub all that down, finish it off after, and you don't, as I say, you don't need to see me do that part. You've just watched me do it on here. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to do some waxing. So I'm going to move this out of the way, bring this forward so that you can see, hopefully, this here. Can you see that, where my fingers are? I'm going to go in and wax. Just get myself organised, and I'll move my head out of your way, I promise you. So what I'm going to be using first is, I have a black wax. Can you see that? I just get this one from Home Depot, so it's pretty easy. And I'm just go in with the wax into basically the crevices and around to show the detail with the wax, pushing it on, showing some shadowing, getting it in there, and then with a lint-free cloth, is what you're going to do, is just rub it back off, and if that's not enough, it's gone a little bit greyish on me, I'm just going to use a baby wipe and go over again. To bring back the white. So basically the black, all it's done is gone into the creases. Can you see that? So then after that, I'm going to go back in. This one is the antique wax. So basically it's brown colour. I'm going to go back in and do the same thing. And this just gives it a little bit of aging. So I just put a little bit of this in, just to age. Just in the crevices. And basically where it would be shadowing. Then you kind of sit back, have a look, see if you need the wipe, see if you need the rag. Just go in a little bit here with the wipe and in here. And there you've got, it's looking a little aged there, can you see that? So I would do the same up the top here. Can you see the top one? I think it's too high for you. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do the top later. I'm going to go back in with the black wax here and just do a little bit of the actual case itself. So I'm just kind of going into any of the edges of the case and any of the detail of the case with the wax, and just highlight that a little bit with the black wax. And then a little bit around to shadow what we just, the transfer, just to give it a little bit of shadowing. And then the same again, I'm going to try and reach over to do the other side. I'm going to just do some detail here and just around the corners with the black wax. A little bit more. And the same up here. And then you go back in with the cloth and just go over it to smooth it out. And then go back in again with the brown antique wax and just a little bit around. What I like to do is just bring it a little bit up and out with my fingers. That's way too much on that part, so where's my, I'm going to take that off. go back in. If I can get it where I want it to be, that's better. That's where I want it to be now. And then go back in with the cloth and just go over. So you're giving it a little bit of an older look. And the same over here. If you can see, just kind of doing the edges along the top and then around. Just to show the wear and tear of where the case would be, the age of it. Just go over it a little bit and let it dry. And then I don't know if you can see up here, I'm just going to do the same. I always go over with the antique wax, basically where I put any of the black wax. And then I go back over and just pat it down. And I'm just going to go around the corner here a little. And basically use your artistic side for this. Kind of keep going back, having a look, see what you want to do. I'm going to come down a little further on the sides and a little bit more on the top here, which I know you can't see that part, so I'll do the sides down here, and that's kind of where we're at. Again, I'll try and show you. And that's what we're trying to get. And then on this one, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the waxing. I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm not going to do the whole thing in front of you because that would get boring. I would go back and finish it on my own later so that you can see the whole thing. But basically, we're going to use some black wax. And we're just going to go over, especially any of the angles of the metalwork, shadowing underneath, and just basically going in, giving it some definition. Any edges, and then oh, a little too much on my brush. I like to do a little at a time. You can always go back in and do more. And just go over the edges. Along the edges up here, making sure your corners are well waxed. As I say, take your time. Enjoy doing, this is my favourite thing to do. Out of all the painting, everything I do, this is my favourite. It's just going in and shadowing different parts with the wax and just letting it basically, it comes to life, I find, when I do this. You can see the difference of it coming to life with the wax. Just going to do this corner so you can see it, so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to go back in, as I say, with the antique wax, back over exactly where you did the black wax. And this just gives it a total aged look. Making sure you put it in any worn areas and any corners and around the metal, I find is really, I like that. Got a hair there to get rid of the hair. Making sure you do a lot of the corners, give it definition and some shadowing on the metal. I find putting a little bit of music on and doing this is so relaxing to me. It's one of my favourite things to do, as I say. And can you see that? The difference on that corner there? So that's basically how I'm going to finish this. I'm going to do all the corners. I'm even going to do a little bit around the legs as well. And then, as I say, next week I will display it up, photograph it, and maybe even do a quick little live, or maybe on one of my day lives I'll show you the finished. But that's how I'm going to finish both of these suitcases, and then they will be put for sale. So if you're looking to buy in my local area, I don't ship, but I do sell in my local area, Chilliwack, BC, Canada. On my website, julieseverythingtreasures.com, I have a for sale section that is basically got itemized everything I have available. I'm updating it every day, and I'm just going to pop on here. I don't know what I'm going to look like, a total mess, but anyway, I just figured you've been listening to my voice, seeing what I'm doing, but it'd be nice maybe to see me. So I hope you've enjoyed this week. It's been a hard week in some ways for me because I've done 6 lives, but I've enjoyed it so much, and I have more to show you, more to inspire you. I've got the Mondays is the thrift haul day, Tuesdays trash to treasures, Wednesdays I do the craft and chat time, Thursday and Friday I do the furniture and painting, and today, Saturdays, each week, it's basically the weekend wrap up where I'll show you the finishes of some of the items and what I've been doing all week, and just recapping what we did this week, what you've seen, and some of them finished, so you can actually see what I do each week. Next week we're going to be doing the same thing on different items, and starting Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be doing the thrift haul, and hopefully you'll be able to see that, and I look forward to seeing you. Everyone have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. If you can like, comment, or even sprinkle this live, I would be much appreciated, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, and everyone be safe. Thank you.